What's up everyone, I am of course the one, the only, the Joker of Yu-Gi-Oh! Back again with a good friend of mine, King Invocation himself, Alex. And today we're going to be talking about some ban list predictions, and I personally wanted to wait till way after Flood to do this, because, you know, we can see what's been happening, what actually has been selling the best, and all the rest. So, let's just get right into it, shall we?
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Let the good times roll!
Okay, so the first thing I want to actually talk about is what is actually topping at tournaments and YCS and regionals at the moment. And the top three, in my opinion, are Dracos. You know, you've got that Pendulum, and then all the rest are pretty even, with Trickstars like, what, 20% of the bracket somehow?
20, there's like 10%, 15% Trickstar, like 30% ABC, and then it's just...
We'll try and figure out like a pie chart and we'll put it in the picture somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are so many different archetypes that are still coming out, but we're going to talk about the ones that we think that should probably get hit and probably go down, and what would really should be hit along with them. So, can we start with my least favorite one, which is Dracos? I mean, in my opinion, to get this deck hit, we need to ban Masterpiece and somewhat semi-limit or limit Diagram. The deck would still be able to bring out combos, but they wouldn't be, you know, so aggressive and so be able to stop you from playing the game whatsoever, which is what Masterpiece really does, unless you've got ways to get out of it. Which there are a few, but they aren't always main decked. I mean, what's your opinion on it, man?
Draco just fuck off. That's all I can say.
Exactly.
Hate that deck with passion. Deck's
I mean-
broken. Deck, just ban Masterpiece and hit Diagram for one. That's what you need to do. Kill the deck. That's what you really need to do. That's all, in my opinion, you don't need to go with Draco.
But I mean, even just banning Masterpiece, in my opinion, that would be enough. Because think of it like this way. We had Clearfort Tower. That card was the most badass card. I know it's been ages since that card was played so much. But Clearfort Tower was this badass card that everyone was playing at that point of time. It was the beast. It was the most OP. And people were like... Exactly, he even played this deck. And in your opinion, what do you think? People were like, oh yeah, let's totally make a card exactly like it, but even better. I think Konami was thinking, you know what everyone really wants? Another Clearfort Tower. And then they just decided, here's Masterpiece. That's how Masterpiece came to be. Because if you read the cards, it's like Masterpiece is a shit ton freaking better. And yet it's been around. And yet Clearfort Tower got banned and it's been banned.
A card that just got released that is better than Masterpiece is the new Lair of Darkness Boss Monster.
Which is that?
By your opponent's card effects.
I mean,
It can't be targeted by your opponent's card effects, or it can be tributed. So it can't be Monarch Stormforce, and it's 50 attack points bigger than Masterpiece. So they make their Masterpiece bigger, so they make their Masterpiece on 2950 because it's unaffected by spells, so therefore Diagram can't give it the 300 attack boost. It just makes it 2950, and then you can tribute, then you can activate all of your card effects, like your, even just Full Force Virus or just any one of the Full Force or the Virus cards. You can special summon the boss monster from your hand for free by tributing a card, and that card can't be tributed by any card effects, can't be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, but it can be destroyed by battle. But inherently, it's 10 times better than Masterpiece, and that card will deal with Masterpiece, just like Cosmo Dark Destroyer.
but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we had Clearfort Tower, now we've got Masterpiece, and now Diabolus. So, I may have been saying that wrong. Diabolus or Diabolus?
Diabolus.
It depends on how you pronounce it. I will probably always pronounce it wrong. But Masterpiece has that effect that allows you to banish, which just stops it from being destroyed and all the rest. I mean, you protect it from spells and traps, you can tribute over with Kaijus. But at least with Diabolus, I see that card, yeah, it can't be destroyed, what, by battle? Or is it... No, it can't be... card effects. But it can be destroyed by battle, which does make it a lot easier. I mean, you just bring out a monster that's equally more powerful than it, and you can attack it over it. Which, if they ban Masterpiece, I'm going to be really happy with that because it gives Layer of Darkness the chance to step forth and really become the next version of that deck. So we've had Monarchs, then we had Dracos. I reckon the next step is, of course, that Layer of Darkness.
Yes.
I mean, if someone combines Layer of Darkness, however, with the Draco cards, that deck will be cancerous, in my opinion. But it, I mean, that deck would be so weird. But that's why, yeah, that's our opinion on Dracos, I reckon. Like, just ban it. It gives chance of Diabolus to come forth, and Diabolus is a lot nicer card that you can easily get around. The game will be more playable again, and it'll be a lot more fun. Now, on to the next one, I reckon, which is Pendulums. Pendulum Magicians, which are still topping somehow, even though they've got so many different hits, they're still topping. And why are they still topping, you reckon, Alex? Like, what card helps them to top these days? There you go, guys.
Astrograph, Electromite.
Astrograph and Electromite. I mean, what do you reckon? I would limit Electromite because every deck can use it.
No, they won't limit Electromite because Electromite just came out and is too new to be hit. Because it just
annoying.
came out in the set. But Electromite isn't the problem. Astrograph is the problem. Astrograph Chainlinks and Astrograph just in general is the problem card, and that card needs to go ASAP. And ban the Leolos. The Leolos fusion monster or instant.
Now that I can't agree with more. Like that FTK.
Instant fusion has been so long waited to be banned. It's not funny.
But Instant Fusion can be used into anything. I reckon just ban that Lyricist, you know, the combo piece that is... I'm going to pronounce it wrong, guys. But yes, ban that card, and it'll be a lot easier for everyone. I mean, Instant Fusion can stay around, that's okay, because, you know, you've got Fluffles that can use it, which is Rogue. You've got all these Rogue decks that can still use it, which is fair. Relinquished decks can still use it. All that stuff, that's not a problem whatsoever. But Lyricist... the stupid birds, screw it, that's what I'm going to call them, them stupid birds, because I can't say the name, that is the main problem. So if we just ban that card, same with, you know, Masterpiece, we ban these over-boss monsters that perform the FTKs, the game will become more playable. Hell, even if we just limit it just that little bit, apart from the stupid bird, that bird can die.
No, Astrograph just needs to die in a hole, a big burning hole.
Exactly. But if they limit or ban Masterpiece, I'm definitely going to be happy. If they...
Okay, I'll explain what they need to do to get rid of Pendulum. Ban, number one, ban Astrograph. Number two, ban the Leolos. Number three, hit Purple Poison to 1. And number 4, just hit Doorless Alliance to 1.
Exactly. But I mean, my idea is like, okay, if people are always going to be angry if their deck gets hit to the point that it's not playable. So, if we just get rid of Lyrilos and we get rid of Astrograph...
They can have a soft all they want, but they need to see
They can-
it's still into the meta. But,
Yeah.
sure. Oh, big deal, you can't play Magician FTK anymore. But Halo, you still got Electromite at 3.
Yeah, you can still play Magicians. I reckon as long as you can still play your deck, then it is fair. I mean, if we got rid of Masterpiece, you can still play Dracos. It just won't be as powerful, and it'll be more easy for the rest of us. If you, with Pendulums, you got rid of Astrograph, and you got rid of some of the combo pieces that turns into the FTKs, like Lyrilos, then yeah, it will make it more easy for the rest of us. But that's what I think of it. Like, if you get rid of the cards that really do perform the FTKs, the OP cards, not, you know, when they combine combos. Like, everyone's always saying, oh, this card performs the FTK because it performs the combo, and that ends the game for me, it's not fair. Well, you stop one combo piece, that's not the problem. But with Lyrilos and, you know, Masterpiece and all the rest, you know, those are OP cards on their own. They stand on their own, and they, you know, are super powerful. So if we slowly limit them down, then the game will become more playable. But that's my opinion on it. What do you think, Alex?
Honestly, just get rid of those 2 decks. Those 2 decks have been dominating for too long, and they need to go.
Exactly. I mean, 9 out of 10, Konami always hits the deck that is becoming topping YCS, and the decks that have been topping YCS are of course those two. So it wouldn't surprise me if they do potentially get hit in the next ban list. But that's enough talk on them two. Now we should probably talk about, a few decks that they don't really get much talk on what they should really get hit. And I play Trickstars. So it's gonna pain me to say this. They need a semi-limit or limit reincarnation. I hate saying that because I play Trickstars. In my opinion, I have said so many times that the deck, if you get rid of that card, the deck might potentially be dead. But there are other ways to play the deck. You've still got Candina and all the rest. And people always say, reincarnation is the big problem of, when I activate that, the game is over, it's not fair, I don't even get to play. And yeah, but if you have hand traps, that can really stop. So I see it one of two ways. One, if they keep bringing out these hand traps, Trickstars should not get hit because there are so many ways out of it. Stop arguing about it. Mm-hmm. Two, if they don't bring out so many hand traps, semi-limit reincarnation, stop people from arguing so much. The game can still be played. You switch if you really want to burn them, like I do, then you just take out one reincarnation and you put in a disturbance strategy. You don't always need to go into like 3 reincarnations. You can still burn them. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it is the most budget version of the card. I don't care. And I'll probably get, a hate on it. But yes, man, come on. If you're really worried about reincarnation, fine, semi-limit it. Don't care. Like, disturbance strategy, yeah, it's not as good. It's not anywhere near as good. I'm not saying it's, oh yes, if you don't have reincarnation, run disturbance strategy. It's equal. No, it's not. No. But it gives you, it still allows you to play the Burn Baron if you really want to play that. You can still do the Droll and Lock if you really want to do that. And there's so many other options. So I mean, the Droll and Lock is the most annoying part, which is why people always say reincarnation should get banned. I know I said like it should be semi-limited. That's for the people that want it semi-limited. I don't even reckon it should get banned really, or anything. It shouldn't even get touched because the cards pretty much work as a combo. You stop one chain link, as I said, then the deck does potentially... No, but I mean, the deck works as, like, you have to activate this, you have to search for this, you activate this goes for this. It's a chain link combo. There is literally a card called Chain Summoning, and it's all insane. But if you stop one, then the chain is broken. I mean, they have to slow themselves down. I've versed you, Alex, and you've seen how if I don't get that exact combo, you do win the game. If you don't get any of the combo pieces that you need, you can beat the deck. Exactly. But that's why you're like, with all the people saying Trickstars should get hit and all that, maybe a little bit, but at the same time, you're getting so many hand traps that, there's nothing to really worry about. If you get the hand traps, you can get around it.
Exactly.
But, Dracos and Pendulum are the main ones. So that's the talk on, like, what should get banned, in my opinion. Like, other than that, are there any cards that you really think should get banned that don't particularly work, that aren't in a deck? Which one?
Grass looks greener.
Grass looks greener. I mean, that card's still getting played. I mean, cards that are 1 should really,
The new Infernoid Lair Darkness hype. Light Swans is only good because of that card.
Well, they're good for other reasons, but that is one of the cards that they are definitely good.
That's really just Grasshopper's has been around for too long and needs to go. But for any other cards, to be honest, to be banned, Scapegoat needs to go.
I reckon.
Scapegoat is broken.
I wouldn't say banned.
Or limited.
Semi-limited, maybe. Limited, sure, maybe. But banned, I mean, Scapegoat, yeah, it goes into your link plays and it is a really nice card. But as long as you can, I have so many people that have bad timing on that. You have to have, like, only one monster on the field, activate Scapegoat towards your opponent's very end of the turn. So if they give you the chance of still having so much life points, then yes. But at the end of the time, like, a Scapegoat is really good only if you activate it towards the end of your opponent's turn, because then you go into your combos on your turn. But at the same time, I mean, like, if you for some reason your opponent doesn't kill you in that turn, which is what kind of game we're in right now. Like, your opponent can kill you in one turn, so you gotta be running hand traps and all that.
Really, really good in the new layout up and stuff as well.
With all them tributes.
But you know, this card here is broken.
Yes. That card is broken. But, yeah, I mean, I reckon Scapegoat, limited, semi-limited, banned would be too much.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like the ban list at the moment is kind of what it should be at. Like, you know, we've had... Oh, and for all you Stratos people, yeah, take that off the ban list. Why not? Take it off the ban list. Here's a video that should get likes.
I just like when the hero plays at rage whenever Stratos isn't off the ban list.
Yep. So, for this video to get likes, yes, take Stratos off the ban list. Why? Because hero players deserve to play it. I don't see it changing the meta to be like, oh, I have Stratos, now I'm going to top all the regionals.
Everyone like this video if you all agree that the Fairy Tail Snow should get hit to 1.
That's another one. Fairy Tail Snow. So there are like so many different cards that I personally do hate, and I think that should come off. Cards that I think should come off the ban list is like, if you hit Pendulums, bring back Joker to 1. Only cause Joker. I loved it. It was funny. But at the same time, it is an annoying card.
But that we didn't mention that it should get banned as well. Everyone wants evenly matched to get banned.
Exactly. But evenly matched is still an $80 card. It's like all these hand traps. As much as you want to get banned, Konami loves money.
It sells Circuit Break, it will sell Flames of Destruction.
Exactly. And I mean, at the end of the day, we all got to remember that Konami doesn't really, you know, care about our personal how we like to play. They care about one thing and one thing alone, and it's getting our money. So, if they can get that, then they don't really care as much. But I mean, with the ban list at the moment, I don't necessarily completely dislike it. I just feel like have some cards added on, have some cards taken off, and it would be a lot better. Like, you know, Stratos, it won't change the meta. Put Fairy Tail on because, well, is it limited or it's not even semi-limited at the moment? It's at 3. Hell, semi-limited or limited, and you know, Light Swans won't be so hard to beat. It's in everything. 60 card banished decks is just, it's in everything. You've got Masterpiece, I still reckon, yep, it should be semi-limited or limited. You get Pendulums, which are those few cards that we did talk about. And when it comes to Trickstars, they shouldn't even really get touched, or, I mean, because they work as a chain combo deck. You have to have one to work the other, and with all these hand traps that are coming out, you can easily beat the deck. As long as you run the hand traps. And your opponent is, you know, I don't, even against all the hand traps, my deck is still able to get around it because I know how to play it. But if you know what you're doing, then you should be able to beat the deck. It's quite simple. But that's my opinion on the cards on the ban list. Now, with all those talks, I reckon now we should just talk about, like, what cards or decks do you reckon, if those decks do get hit, will become the top next meta decks? ABC. Good argument, because what are a few cards coming out? You had the card Monster Reborn. That's the one. Monster Reborn, or Monster Reborn. And it will work in ABCs because you've got all those other cards that work with the combos, and it can potentially work really well. But, I mean, other than that, like, BAs are always going to be, you know, that rogue tier deck that never dies. Paleozoics, I do see that coming back. Maybe OTS packs were getting onto something, because if we remember, OTS packs... Exactly. But maybe OTS, you know, maybe Konami will saying OTS packs are absolutely shit with number 7, but maybe they're onto something of giving us a hint of what they're going to make the next top decks, and it was Paleozoics. I don't think those Herald cards are going to become top, though, unless you run, you know, Herald of Perfection, the mint deck. But then, other than that, I reckon, you know, if they particularly ban those cards, ABCs, Paleozoics are going to be good again. Trickstars, if they don't get touched, they're going to stay where they are until they get extra support. Altergeist, I reckon are going to be, you know, they're going to squeeze into the meta somewhere. But exactly. run and run all them. But there are going to be some. If the decks that we talked about get hit, then it does give more diverse chance for other decks to come into the play and be a lot more fair for the game. But as I've said, like with the ban list, I reckon at the moment it does stay pretty nice. There aren't too many cards that are absolute meta. I like having Monster Reborn at 1. That's a pretty fun card. But yeah, I mean, if they get rid of Fairy Tale or, you know, semi-limited or whatever, the deck will be easier.
And hit Fairy Tale Snow to 1 and I'll be happy with that list.
Yeah, that's all we really want. I mean, this ain't even a prediction. This was a prediction video of like, you know, yeah, that is what we predict would get hit in our opinion. But it's also what we want to get hit in our opinion. But other than that, I mean, I don't really see many other decks particularly getting hit too badly with particular cards. I don't see many cards that are going to be like, yeah, this card's going to get hit because it's the next OP card. I mean, what cards do you reckon are even going to get hit? Can you think of any off the top of your head that is absolutely OP, that doesn't have a way out, and, you know, should probably get hit, or will probably get hit? Astrograph. Well, we've already said that one. But, I mean, yeah, other than the ones we've already mentioned, I don't reckon any are probably going to get hit as badly. Buguska, yeah, that's a nice card, but I don't see it getting hit. Firewall Dragon, I'm pretty sure that card is... Yeah, Firewall's at 1, it's fine. Sayuja, I mean... Yeah, it's too early. A lot of the new cards, they never really hit because they like trying to get it, so I don't predict on them getting hit. If anything, I want to say Ash, but at the same time, I don't want to say Ash.
Supreme King Darkworm.
Why? I mean...
Free summon from the grave with free searches makes Pendulum still really good.
That one. Oh, yes, that one.
That one.
I just remember what that card is. I'll try and put the pictures above my head or next to him somewhere for you guys so it's easier. But yeah, that is another nice card. So, but other than the ones that we mentioned, I mean, there are so many cards that are against those decks. If we hit them too much, then they become unplayable, and that's just not fair for everyone. Yeah, make Yu-Gi-Oh! Somewhat fair. Hitting those cards would make the game more fair, make it more balanced, make it more even, and everyone would potentially have more of a fun time. But, I mean, other than those, like, there are some cards that are one-offs, and they are limited at the moment, and, you know, some decks are really OP with them, but I don't reckon they should get hit either, because, yeah, some decks are OP with them, but other decks really do rely on that card to even be playable, so it kind of evens it out. I mean, it's not like it was with Zodiacs, where you had to get rid of one card to bring it back. But in my opinion with that, there is only one Zodiac card. I'm probably going to get hated for this, because, trying to remember exactly the one. Drident was my problem with that deck.
Broadball.
So yours was Broadball. Broadball helps you with the combos, it extends it, yes.
Free search. Literally,
Free search.
Literally, all you have to do if you want to make Zoo playable again, bring Drident back to 3,
Now,
ban Whiptail, and hit Barrage to 1.
see, in my opinion, as long as they never bring back Drident, I'm okay with the deck. Barrage? I know I'm probably the person that's absolutely hate, but yes, in my argument, that is why, because Drident was my big problem with the deck on that. Although, yes, the spamming was, of course, the big thing. So, if they never bring back Drident, I'm going to be happy with that. If they semi-limit Barrage, I'm cool with that. And if they bring back Broadball to at least 1,
Hey Troy, I'll get your favourite card here.
I'd be happy with the deck.
Troy, I'll get your
And he has a Drident.
I'll get your favourite card here.
Yeah. As long as they never bring back that card, and the reason I say that is only because, in my opinion, it's basically another version of Masterpiece, but doesn't self-protect itself. It only does that whole, you know, destroying stuff, which is my big problem with the deck of Dracos. And that's why I think, yeah, if you want to bring back Zoos, just don't bring back Drident. Semi-limit Barrage or limit Barrage. Whiptail, maybe semi-limit or limit. But that's it.
So good.
But other than that, I mean, Broadball, hell, even at 1, I wouldn't mind that, actually. Because if you can get around Broad Ball, then you're absolutely mint. And there are ways around Broad Ball. Yes, it does extend your combos. Yes, it does spam it. But, I mean, in this game, we've got so many hand traps. And back then, we didn't have so many of these good hand traps that stop it.
Yeah.
So, that's my opinion on it. I reckon, like, yeah, they could bring Zeus back. Keep the spam list as it is. Well, mostly as it is. Shadowll contract. Yes, that's another one. Here's a few bonus ones for you guys. Yes, Stratos to 1. Hell, even at 3, I wouldn't care. Construct to 1. No. I like Seraph Knight. Seraph Knight stays. Only because, you know, the house... Actually, no. Seraph Knight to 1, that's enough. Because you only use the 1, so it doesn't really matter. You only run the 1, so it doesn't really matter. Brilliant Fusion. I mean... Hell, semi-limit that, I wouldn't care.
Semi-limit Ash.
No. Well, Ash, yeah, that's one... I'm very biased on this. I'm trying not to be biased. I'm sorry this video is going for a while, guys. But there's so much to talk about, and we're trying to narrow it down to a few without going way off to all the cards that should get banned and all the cards that should get limited. Yeah, Mind Control is super spicy at the moment. It really does help Trickstars. So yeah, if you... Everyone's saying Trickstars should get hit with Reincarnation. No, the version that should get hit is just this... Well, you can easily beat Burn, and you can both easily beat Spam, the Spam Control version. But, you know, Mind Control is an annoying card. So, I mean, they limit that, it's fine. Ash, I mean, leave it at 3. I mean, it does... Ash, with all these new cards coming out, I see it fair.
Bring this card back to 3. That's all I want in Yu-Gi-Oh! Bring this card back to 3.
Cosmo Dark Destroyer. I mean... I'm gonna say, nah, keep it as it is, and I would be happy. But, yeah, there is so much different cards to talk about. Yeah. But to sum up, guys, here are our final thoughts, I reckon. And I'm gonna try and sum it up, and then Alex can do his final. So, yes, with Masterpiece, if they ban or limit that, I'm gonna be super happy. Same with if they semi-limit or limit a Dragonic Diagram, Dracos won't be so hard to beat, and they'll potentially be dead. Pendulums, you semi-limit or limit Astrograph, or even hell, ban it, along with, you know, semi-limit Duelist Alliance, but at the same time, you're keeping Ash, so if they keep Ash, then don't touch Duelist Alliance. That's why I like Ash. With Trickstars, they're probably not going to get touched because there's so much, you know, they can easily get around, you can easily get around them. With Zoos, if you ever want them to come back, just don't bring back Trident, and I'll be happy. Put Borreload to 1, Barrage to at least 2. Oh, no, not is it Borreload? Zodiac Borreload or...
No, Zodiac Barrage.
No, Zodiac, the Link monster.
Broad Ball.
No, the... Broad Ball. That's the one I've been saying wrong, guys. Broad Ball to 1, and I would allow that. Only because, yes, it would bring out some plays, and you can easily Ash it. You can Ghost Ogre it. There are cards away hit. But if they've only got the 1, you know, there are still... It does allow them to be playable, but not to the point that they would be overpowered with Dryden and destroying your shit. But... And then other than that, you know, cards that should come off the ban list and, you know, completely is like Stratos and Construct, in my opinion. Other than that, and the exceptions that we added on, the ban list is pretty nice, in my opinion. But that's my thoughts on it. What's your final thoughts on it, man? Do you agree, or...?
To summarize everything. Just kill Pendulum, kill Draco, put Snow to 1, then I'd be happy pretty much.
Exactly. But, I mean, for our final predictions, I'm reckoning Masterpiece is got to get hit somehow, definitely.
Diagram to 1, Snow to 1, Grasslook Screen is banned, and yeah, then basically you'll be fine. That's all that's all that needs to be touched. Or Reincarnation to 1 as well. Because we don't want that deck coming back to full strength again, just like it was in Spiral format.
But, nah, I agree with all but Reincarnation of getting banned with the prediction. With the prediction, I mean, for Trickstars to get hit, yeah, that would definitely hit it. But with predicting, yeah, I reckon Masterpiece is going to get hit. Either way, it's either going to be semi-limited, banned. Either way, it's going to get hit somehow. Dragonic Diagram, it's somehow going to get hit. Snow is going to get hit. Grass Looks Greener is probably going to get hit. And if Konami finally decides to be nice, they're going to bring back Construct and Stratos. But that's my final predictions on it. I'm pretty sure, Alex agrees with it.
Just bring Dr. Strike back to 3 and I'll love Yu-Gi-Oh! Again.
He'll love Yu-Gi-Oh! More. If they never bring back Dryden, I'll always continue to love Yu-Gi-Oh! If they never bring back cards like that, or bring cards like that into the game, or, you get to destroy shit on your opponent's turn, and the card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's shit, it's like, what the hell? Oh no, Dryden can be destroyed by shit. But I mean, with the other stuff, if they don't bring in too many cards like that, the game will continue to be even, and I'll be a lot more happier. But that's my opinions on it. That's his opinions on it. Comment down below what you guys think on what we have said. And, do you agree? Do you disagree? What are cards that you reckon should get hit, banned, semi-limited, or even taken off the list? And I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And of course, if you want to see more of Alex, make sure to comment down below as always, as well as what you guys want to see next. And of course, as always, keep on smiling, everyone. And of course, since for me, the Joker of Yu-Gi-Oh! My good man. Say it off, my man.
Bye,
The king of invocation. That's it for us, guys. And of course, as always, as I said, keep on smiling, enjoy the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself. And of course, then, as always, till the next one, that of course ends it for us, the Joker of Yu-Gi-Oh! King Invocation. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Till next time, everybody.